You're going to work on IXL again today. So if, I don't know what it looks like on your end, but if you need the directions to get to IXL again, to start from the beginning, you would go to clever.com, the student login with Google, which when you go to clever.com, you may already be logged in at this point. Scroll down until you see IXL. Click on that IXL button. Let's try this again. You want to click on Learning. That's spelled right. Learning, and then Math. And today we're going to go to 8th grade, but that's just because in the Area and Circumference section in the geometry, there's going to be some things that you don't know how to do yet. So we're going to practice it using the 8th grade section. So in the 8th grade section, you're going to go to letter T, section 5. So you're going to T.5, area and circumference of circles. So now I'm going to show you some problems that will be similar to what you're going to see. The radius of a circle is 1 centimeter. What is the area? Use 3.14 for pi. So IXL is going to be really picky about your answer. So if we're looking for area, we need to use this formula. Area equals pi r squared. So I'm going to plug in that 1 centimeter as my radius. So pi times 1 squared. So really I have pi times 1 because 1 squared, 1 times 1 is 1. So then I'm going to use 3.14. If you have a scientific calculator and you have a pi button, do not use the pi button. You could get a different answer. The bigger number you have for a radius, the more likely your answer is going to be different. So just stick with using 3.14 for IXL. So 1 times 3.14 is 3.14. So area equals 3.14. IXL is going to want you to round to the nearest hundredth. This is already at the nearest hundredth, so we don't have to do anything with that. It will specifically tell you up here in the directions if you're going to round to the nearest hundredth because your answer is going to be longer. So in the IXL box, we're going to put 3.14. And then square centimeters will already be there for you. This is just the board number I'm using. So square centimeters will already be there for you. So you're just putting the number in. You don't have to worry about labeling it. The next one, this says we have a diameter in our circle of 14 centimeters. What is the area? Use 3.14 for pi. So again, area equals pi times radius squared. So we want the radius, but we were given a diameter of 14. So remember, a diameter is 2 times the length of the radius. So to get the radius, we're going to take 14 divided by 2 to get 7. So our radius equals 7 centimeters. And so that 7 is what we're plugging into our formula. We just take whatever the diameter is and divide by 2. So area equals pi times 7 squared. 7 squared is 49. 7 times 7 is 49. So my area equals pi times 49. So I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. 3.14 times 49. And I get 153.86. Again, that's already rounded to the nearest hundredth. So that's going to go ahead and go right into the box. 153.86. And the label will be there. Square centimeters. Centimeters squared. This one says the radius of a circle is 9.7 meters. What is the area? Use 3.14 for pi. So area equals pi r squared. You're going to round to the nearest hundredth. So this one specifically tells us how we're going to round. So we know our radius is 9.7. So area equals pi times 9.7 squared. So 9.7 squared, I don't know what that is, so I have to use my calculator. 9.7 times 9.7. So area equals pi times 94.09. So I'm going to do 94.09 times 3.14, not times the pi button, only 3.14. So we have this long 295.4426. We want to round to the nearest hundredth is what it's telling me up here. So I need to stop at the second decimal place. That 2 is not going to make the 4 round up. So in my box, I'm going to say 295.44. We're just going to drop the 29. So make sure you're rounding correctly. Round up if this number is a 5 or above. If it's a 4 or lower, we leave that number the same. Okay, so here's a circumference problem. Circumference of a circle is 18.84 feet. What is the radius? This is different than what we've done. Still using the same formula. We want to know the radius, so let's use circumference equals 2 times pi times radius. Remember our other one is circumference equals pi times diameter, but because we want to know the radius, that one won't make any sense. So in this one, I'm given the circumference. If 18.84 equals circumference, I'm going to put that in here. 18.84 equals 2 times pi times radius. So now it's just an equation that you've solved before, but you've never had pi. I want to get r by itself. I want the radius. So first, these are being multiplied. The opposite of multiplication is division, so I'm dividing by 2 on both sides. So I have 18.84 divided by 2. I have 9.42 equals pi times the radius. Again, I want radius by itself, and I have multiplication over here, so I'm just going to divide. I'm going to divide by pi, but I'm using 3.14 instead of the pi button. I'm going to do 9.42, which is already in my calculator, divided by 3.14, and it says that my radius will equal 3. So my radius will be 3, and I didn't put the box on here, but the box in IXL, there would be a box, and it would have the word feet off to the side for you, and you just put the 3 in. We have one more like that. It's with area. So there weren't many circumference problems. When I was doing the problems, they gave me mostly area problems, but don't be surprised if you come across circumference problems. The area is 50.24 square yards. What is diameter? So area is 50.24. I want to use the area formula, pi r squared. I'm not going to use circumference formula if we're talking about area. If area equals 50.24, I want to plug that in for that part of the equation, for the area part. So I have 50.24 equals pi times radius squared. So that pi times radius squared, again, just like the circumference problem, is being multiplied. I want to divide by pi on both sides. I'm trying to get r by itself. So 50.24 divided by 3.14 for pi is 16. 16 equals r squared. The way we get rid of a square root is to, a squared is to square root on both sides. On most of the scientific calculators that you guys have, you're going to do, it's the second function button. And then I think it's the x squared button, and above it is that square root. Type in your 16 and hit equals. And that'll give you the square root of 16. The square root of 16 is 4, so 4 is our radius. But it's asking what is the diameter. What is the diameter? And so remember, radius is only half of the diameter. So I need to double that I need 4 times 2, or 4 plus 4, and my diameter equals 8. So again, the box on IXL will be there. You'll put 8 in, and it'll have yards already labeled for you. So don't forget to do this part. So in any of these, if you do something wrong, it will tell you you're incorrect, and it'll give you the explanation. Read through that explanation to figure out why you did something wrong. Because a lot of times students will enter this 4, but they didn't actually double it to find the diameter. So, but for any of these, make sure you're reading through the explanation so you know why you did something wrong in your problem. So because those couple of problems start to get hard towards towards the middle as you're working through those, I want you to get through to a SMART score of 50. And remember, you could be using this formula, area equals pi r squared, and then for circumference, circumference equals pi times diameter, or 2 times pi times radius. So SMART score of 50.